What's up, buddy? What are we thinking of you?
Here's to you, Bob.
Hi, how you doing? What do you think? Scott and I want to know who's going to take your place, Bob.
Not me, Bob. You already know that, buddy.
Do you think it's going to be a her?
I don't know. They've interviewed her.
I think it's going to be a her.
Excellent.
Yeah, what kind of...
I'll have to get to know her. Since I am the engineer in that area.
I'm probably going to have to get to know her really well.
Oh, yeah, of course. Especially around PR time.
How well do you think you're going to have to get to know her?
Very well.
I wonder if I'm going to have to wash her car. Wax, probably wax.
On your hands and knees, by the way.
Yeah, wax on, wax on. Paint the fence.
Oh, you guys are
Bob, hi. How are you?
I think we need to do a trip back to Laredo, Ohio. I know it damn near killed you. I'll do it again. It was fun. I survived it. You can survive it.
Hi, how you doing?
Jesse, who's your date tonight? Still the old parakeet? Still sleeping with that girl with a pecker on her face?
Hi, Jess. Can you see me okay? I can see you just fine. You look really nice tonight. I'm serious. I can't believe that women aren't beating down your door to get to you.
What jail did you break out of?
Hi. Hi, how you doing? Okay, Ray. Is that right?
Hey, how you doing, Bob? It's just you and me, Bob.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing? Hi, Bob. How you doing? I'd like to wish you the best. Enjoy your retirement. And fairways and greens.
Hi, Bob. How you doing, Bob? You son of a gun.
Hi, how you doing? Okay.
Hi, Bob. How you doing there, Bob? Hi. Say, hi, how you doing?
My wife, Erin. She's camera shot.
You and me.
You was a straight shooter. Turn that nice shade of red at home like you do at work. No? No. Oh, he's not a jerk. He's not a jerk. We don't look at him like that. We ignore him when he gets heated.
Happy, say away.
little tune for you.
Everybody say something nasty to Bob. Bob's a bad guy. We want to break his legs and break his arms and shove golf balls in his ears.
Break his nose again.
Yeah, and I'm going to knock it to the left so hard, he's going to see tomorrow.
I love it.
Hey, everybody in the house. We got a few things that we'd like to do here. I'm going to have a few people up. They're going to say a few words. But in the meantime, we've got a couple other things we want to do. The first thing that I'd like to do. I got some guest speakers in line tonight, and we got a few things that we want to do for Bob tonight. Hi, how you doing, Bob?
Hi, how you doing, Bob?
I'm going to use my mic because I like it a little better. I got a few people that I'd like to have up to the podium. I'd like to say a few words in Bob's honor tonight. If I could first please have up Mr. Frank Valde. Everybody give it up.
Frank, go.
Fix my tie? Linda's still watching that. Pull it real tight. 5 years later. Real tight.
Okay, Frank.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, how you doing, Bob? The size of this room and seeing that it's filled is a testimony to, I guess, how many friends you made and what the impact you had at Our Lady of the Heavy Industries over there at Whitaker. I can't remember all this stuff. I mean, I'm going to try. 25 years, even before you came there, and somebody like you out there. First, I'd like to wish you happy retirement, a safe, healthy one, long life. Now, what I really want to say is, it's been hard. It feels like 100 years working with you. But you promised me that when you left, I would be the ugliest guy there. Here we are driving to Lorain, Ohio in a van into a hole right in front of us in the moon. There's also the fact that 20 guys went to Lorain, Ohio and ate an entire town's food supply in less than 10 days and was asked to leave. There was a little lounge called the Escort 8, Exit 8, where after 14 hours of work, every mechanic and inspector went and relaxed. Took it easy. There was also the fact, boy, my writing is bad. Oh, there was also the fact that Bob had rattled so much money in his 20 years at Ford that all over Florida there's opening up neighbor savings and loan. Well, Bob, I I feel like letting you off. You were awful good to me. You watched over me all them years. You took care of the guys. You were a good boss to work for. And I just want to say I wish you the best. I hope things go real well for you. And if it doesn't, you can always come back as a consultant. I see a lot of old timers there. Where's Bartanian? Two-time retired Bartanian. Thank you, everybody.
Mr. Frank Ball. Next on my agenda, I understand this one was a surprise guest speaker, and we're happy to have him. This is Mr. Jim Hanley. Where are you at? Bob's going, uh-oh.
Man, you're Jeff. We got
It's been great to see everyone here. I haven't seen a lot of people here in a long time. Glad to see everyone's doing well. Well, I had time between a couple of meetings today, so I wrote a few things down. First, I'd like to say, I don't know who organized the dinner tonight or whatever, but hands off to them. It was a fabulous meal for $12. It was an adventure. I've never eaten raccoon before, but pretty good.
I mean, you paid? They paid us to get tickets.
When I sent the process over to come to this thing, he said, a measly $12. He says, you can come to honor Bob for a measly $12. And it put a thought in my mind. I thought back when I worked there, and I said, you know, $12 wasn't measly then. Matter of fact, that was what Bob gave me for a merit raise. But he didn't say $12. The way he would do it, he says, you're a young guy, you got 30 years to work here. That's $720 over the next 30 years. But we really know that's not true. Bob never gave me a merit raise.
Didn't he promise you one?
We all know the expression, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I was thinking a lot about my time at Engine Build-Up when I came in. I came in there when I was 20, and Bob was one of the first people I met because he ran the training program for all the new engine mechanics coming in, and we all spent time with Bob, and he showed us all the proper procedures and everything. So he was kind of our guru at the time. And I'm there at 20 years old. I'm looking at this guy, and I'm thinking to myself, well, here's an old guy retired from the Navy, supplementing his income. I came by this week to pick up the ticket for the dinner, and I looked at Bob and I said, here's an old guy, retired from the Navy, what do you have for? Nothing's changed. Bob impressed me as the type of person. He was the one who always followed the orders of his supervisor without question. He never gave explanations for management's actions. And he reported all individuals who questioned authority. Come to think of it, Bob, you'd have made a good Nazi. I'd like to close out, and I mean this in all sincerity. Bob, of all the people that I worked for, he was always the most prepared. I mean, he never put me in an aisle with an engine that didn't have pistons or rings to put together. He always followed up on his job, did a great job. And I'd like to, comment one thing. I know you're a lot about retirement. You're considering everything, and a lot of people don't know you're going to take on a new career here. And I know you're a little worried about it, but I just want to tell you, give you a little hint. I like my paper between the door, okay? Not in the mailbox. Good luck, and you take care, Bob.
That was something, huh? I got a few things that I got to say there. As I'm walking around the room, I hear different things from different people. I hear Seal, congratulations is in order. Is this true? Yeah. Yeah? Good job. You're in the same boat with me. Good job. She's expecting another one up here, so. Yes. And I want to make sure that everybody in the house gets thanks that helped contribute to tonight. I want to thank the committee. Can you guys stand up? I want the committee to stand up. I want everybody just to stand up. They're not going to stand up. They're shy. I just want to make sure that, everybody, I want to thank all you guys for all your help. I want to thank my wife for helping me out and standing by me. And I want to just thank you all for coming. I had to say that because I got to finalize with our anchor man. If we can get a big round for Mr. Tom Cobbs.
Thanks, Jim. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, co-workers and friends. We are here this evening to wish Bob best wishes towards his retirement. We are very sorry to see him retire for many, many reasons. Most of all, Bob, we're going to miss you because of your leadership. Because you've been there in the battle of a demanding job to meet customer expectations or requirements. In case anyone hasn't figured this out, Jim Head wrote this. Seriously, this is Jim's speech. He had to leave, I told him I'd read it, okay? Everybody tell me tomorrow I read a speech, okay? Yeah. And Jim Hanley, you're right, Bob, neighbor's neighbor give you a raise for good reason.
Grade, I'll let you get away with it.
Hi, how you doing? Hey, me and you, Bob, eh? Welcome to the celebration, to the end of a successful career and the start of another era. And Bob, you thought I was going to be nasty. We're here to celebrate Bob Neighbor's retirement. I don't know how many of you are really here to celebrate or how many are here to make sure he retires. Occasions such like this are half fun and half serious. The trouble is sometimes you don't know which half is which. I'd like to start by introducing some of the distinguished guests, family and friends of Bob's. First, Bob's wife Carol regrets that she cannot attend. She's down in Florida. I talked to her yesterday. She said she couldn't come because she was busy scrubbing their condo on her hands and knees so that she could get done all of the jobs that Bob left her on the list when he was down there on Thanksgiving. But don't worry, Bob, she helped me prepare for tonight. Bob and Carol's children are here. First, Pauline and her husband, Jim. Stand up or wave. Susie. Don, or Butchie, and Carrie. Bob's other brother, Patrick, is here. And one of Bob's friends from the old neighborhood, John Peters, excuse me. Bob, seriously, there's one guest who could not attend tonight. He called me today and asked me to send his best to you. That's John Redmond. He recently returned from Houston from his chemotherapy, and he said he just couldn't make it, but he wanted you to know that he sends along his best wishes for your retirement. Now, actually, we had planned a night of intellectual, cultural, and philosophical pleasures and experiences for you this evening, but then Bob decided to show up. Before we get started with my perfectly candid ad-libs here, I want to say one thing to Bob, and I mean this sincerely. Never has one man accomplished so little in 20 years or had so many reasons to be humble. But first, a little biographical information about Bob. For those of you who may not know him, he was born in Detroit, Robert James Neighbors, on June 7th, 1937. That means he was probably in high school when I was born. He was born to Tom and Vera Neighbors. He has an older sister, Nancy, a younger sister, Mary Jane, and a younger brother, Pat. And Pat, you do look a lot younger. He grew up and attended St. Mary of Redford grade school and high school. Now, having been born in the Depression, things were a little tough in the neighbor's family. Why, they were so poor that if he wasn't a boy, he wouldn't have had anything to play with. Bob was not a pretty baby. That's not hard to believe, but like I was saying, he was so ugly that his mother used to feed him with a slingshot. Whenever his father used to get amorous, his mother would just hold up a picture of Bob and say, "Look." His mother got morning sickness after the birth. One year, Bob was asked to be the poster child for Planned Parenthood. When he was growing up in this neighborhood, at Halloween, the parents in the neighborhood used to send their kids out dressed as Bob. I won't say that as a child Bob wasn't loved, but his bath toys were a toaster and a radio. When he used to play in the sandbox, the cat tried to cover him up. One year, Bob's parents bought Pam a BB gun for Christmas. They bought Bob a t-shirt with a target on the front. Bob used to be thin and good looking, by the way. Seriously, he was quite an athlete in high school. He was all-state in track. How many way knows that? He used to be pretty fast. One time, though, Pat was telling me he challenged his dad to a race. Now, being quite younger, you know, an all-state athlete, he should beat his dad quite handily. He got a little carried away and he lost his shoe. And his dad, trailing behind him, picked his shoe up and easily outran Bob, and I guess he had a long time to live that one down. Pat also told me that when Bob was about 14 or 15 years old, he was working in a gas station. He saved his money and bought a 1936 Ford. He was a Ford man back then. And he only had a learner's permit. He wasn't supposed to be driving without a parent or an adult. So one day he and his buddy took the car out, and they're driving down the street, and there's Bob's mom walking down the sidewalk. And so they thought, oh shit, we can't let Mom see me. So they both ducked down. And this car goes rolling by with nobody driving. Now, of course, his mother looks, because there's nobody there. She recognizes the car. Boy, Bob, you didn't learn much, did you? Bob survived his childhood and school years, and in 1954 he enlisted in the Navy, directly out of high school. Now this is a true story. Bob's the only person I know that spent 20 years in the Navy, was never stationed on a ship. Never pulled. Bob, how did somebody not pull sea duty for 20 years?
That's on a Buffalo boat.
Yeah, that's sea too. He was a Seabee. He was attached to the Mobile Construction Battalion 40, MCB 40. And he went through the ranks and became chief. For 20 years, he served in such places as Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, Wiesbaden, West Germany, 3 tours in Vietnam. In the last few years before retirement, he was an armed forces courier, traveling all over the United States to different military installations, including the Pentagon and Camp David. Now, the real truth of the matter is that Bob had a pretty cushy time in the Navy. He never had a real job. In fact, when he was a courier, this is the truth, there were times that they would fly him and his bodyguard, I don't know who'd want to guard that body, but him and his bodyguard cross-country in a private plane, like a 727 or something. Those are tax dollars at work. During this time, though, throughout high school and the Navy, Bob discovered girls. His first girlfriend called him up one night and said, Bob, come on over, nobody's home. So he went over. Nobody was home. He always kind of went for the wild girls. his one girlfriend, he asked his one girlfriend to make him French toast, and she burned her tongue in the toaster. One time he was fixed up on a blind date with a rather large girl. She was a little fat. How fat was she? Why, she was so fat that when she got on the scale, the card came out and said 1 at a time. Her bathtub had stretch marks. Her belly button had an echo. She had her own zip code and she wore a cross your thighs bra. And his next girlfriend was rather ugly. How ugly was she? Why, she was so ugly, she was a two-bagger. You know what a two-bagger is? That's where you put a bag over your head in case the bag over her head breaks. Bob once bent down to pet her cat and found out it was the hair on her legs. Bob took her to a dog show and she won the blue ribbon. And here's an old Navy saying, she had a boot. She had a boiled boot she had a face like a boiled boot and a tongue long enough to lace it up. But Bob survived all these women and 20 years in the Navy. And when he was discharged in September of 1973, shortly thereafter, like that day or the next day, he met Carol, the one true love of his life. By the way, they met in a travel agency. Carol was looking to go on vacation and Bob was the last resort. Bob started work at Ford in October '73 and he and Carol were married in July of '74. They raised 3 children, one of each. Pauline, who has now made Bob and Carol grandparents. Susie and Butch. Bob returned to school and graduated from Hank High, or Henry Ford Community College, cum laude, with an associate's degree in science in 1980. And in 1986, he pulled a real coup. He suckered me into going back to college. We both enrolled at Wayne State, and he set the record for dropping out. Before I attended my first class, he had dropped out. True story, right? During his career at Ford, Bob progressed from mechanic C to B to A. Finally, he made senior, and back around 1985 or so, he made unit supervisor. Along the way, Bob didn't always have the greatest relationship with his section supervisors. One time, Bob was told that his career had peaked. Sorry, Dennis, I'm going to embarrass you. His supervisor told him that he would never get promoted again. He would never do so because he could not be a concert pianist, and that's pianist. Another time, his section supervisor came over to the garage where Bob was a senior at the advanced garage and gave Bob a job to do. Now, Bob looked at this guy and says, "Hey, I don't work for you, I work for Ron Green. You got something for me to do? Go see Ron." Now, this particular section supervisor was a trifle excitable. And after we peeled him off the ceiling and tranquilized him, I think somebody, I'm not sure if it was Lori, but somebody had big buttons made up and it said, "Neighbors is the senior and Green is the supervisor." That supervisor didn't last much longer. Now, we should probably be a little kinder and gentler to Bob. He's had a rough day today. He got up this morning, he wanted to look good, so he put on a good shirt and the button fell off. So he was getting ready for work and he picked up his briefcase to come to work and the handle fell off. The poor guy's been afraid to go to the John all day. Now Bob has been called conceited, arrogant, and obnoxious, but I look at it this way, a wife should know. Carol, Bob's loving and lovely wife helped me considerably with preparation for the night. And truthfully, she always speaks well and admiringly about Bob. She told me that after their honeymoon, they were driving back, and Bob says, "You know, honey, I feel like a new man." And she replied, "Funny, so do I." Bob has always been a dedicated family man, a kind father, what kind of, sure, and a loving spouse. I was talking yesterday to Bob's brother, Patrick, and he told me something that was interesting. Now, you may not know Bob outside of work, and you may find this just a little bit hard to believe, but when he's around his family, he has a reputation of being something of a chauvinist. Now, he has this attitude about being superior to women, or excuse me, T-days. But I'm also told that he has a younger sister, Janie, Mary Janie, who's about half his size, who can light into him and get him running so damn fast, you'd know he was a track star. Well, we all know this is just a big show on Bob's part. He's always been a big softie. Yeah, I don't know how many of you know Bob outside of work, but he's also a dog lover. Well, that's maybe the wrong word. I mean, he has a dog. How's that? Once he had a dog he called Pilot. And I thought, well, maybe this had a military connotation, Pilot. And I says, "Why'd you call a dog Pilot?" He says, "Well, he'd pilot here, and he'd pilot here, and he'd pilot here." He had trouble paper training one of his dogs. One night the dog went on the paper 4 times. He was still reading it during 3 of those times. One night Bob was reading an article in the paper out loud to Carol saying that as people grow older, their pets and their owners start to resemble each other. The dog ran out and jumped in front of a semi. He had a female dog once and wanted to breed her. She demanded 50 dog biscuits up front. He had a bloodhound once, a lousy bloodhound. Bob cut his finger and the dog fainted. But Bob's been preparing for retirement. He's been attending to all the normal things that people do when they're getting ready to retire. He sold his condo in Northville. He bought a place down in Florida. He took care of his banking, transferred all of his money from the Swiss accounts into a bank that does business in Florida. He went down there and checked out the PX and the commissary like a good naval retiree. He looked for doctors and dentists and all these things. All the necessities that people don't normally do until they're getting ready to retire. And while he was down there, they checked out a couple of doctors, and he went to the doctor and he said, "Doc, I need some help. I talk to myself." The doctor says, "Well, all right." He says, "Do you have any pain?" He says, "No." He says, "Well, it's quite normal. Thousands, millions of people talk to themselves." He said, "But doctor, you don't know how boring I am." He went to a doctor and the doctor says, "I think you're crazy." He says, "I want a second opinion." The doctor says, "Okay, you're ugly too." He went to his doctor and he says, "Doctor, when I get up in the morning," he says, "I crawl into the bathroom, I look in the mirror and I really feel nauseous." And the doctor says, "Don't worry, there's nothing wrong with your eyes." Bob has been planning for recreation time after retirement. We all know that he likes to play golf, and he spent the entire Thanksgiving holiday scouring Florida looking for a golf course with 18 holes dog-leg to the right to compensate for his slice. He also reads a lot, and Bob's borrowed some books from me. But he went into the Northville Library recently, and he said, "Librarian, I'd like a nice, sexy, steamy novel." Librarian says, "Well, geez, Mr. Neighbors, I thought you only read histories." And he says, "Honey, at my age, that is history." Bob's going to have a difficult time adjusting to life after retirement because he's so intense. And he's what we call a workaholic. Do I know what a workaholic is? You mentioned work, gets drunk. But Bob's always been a simple person, a man of simple tastes, a very honest, not very sophisticated, not very wise in the ways of the world and society. Why, for many years he thought that Pinocchio's father was Leonard Woodcock. Once in a bar, this girl came up to him and said that she was a lesbian. He says, well, how are things in Beirut lately? Once he went to a massage parlor and he found out it was self-service. But Bob is extremely loyal. I think Jim mentioned that. He's a very loyal person. He never forgets a friend. And then I say, big deal, he's only got two. As a supervisor at Ford, though, Bob knows no equal. A lot better than none equal. Now, speaking of supervisors, and supervisor joke here, anybody know the difference between a dead supervisor on the road and a dead snake in the road?
Skid marks.
Right, no skid marks in front of the supervisor. When Bob took over in build-up, he succeeded me, and I'm sure he remembers, but I'm going to tell you anyway. We have a tradition at Ford about the passing of the guard, and I'm sure Bob is already prepared for this. And it's preparing of 3 envelopes. When Bob took over, I told him, Bob, things are going to be a little tough in build-up, but you'll work through them. But when things really get bad and you're at your wit's end, go into your drawer and open up the envelope that says number 1, tear it open and do what it says. And things will get better. And I says, and after a while, things may get tough again. And if they do, and you can't stand it, go into the drawer, take out envelope number 2, open that one up. And things will get better. And maybe they'll stay better, maybe they won't, but if they ever get real bad again, you've always been envelope 3. So sure enough, after about 6 months out there, things were really getting tough. I think Hanley was still there. And so he goes to the drawer, he opens up number 1, and it says, blame your predecessor. So he goes out there, he says, shit, what do you want? Cox was the guy here before, he screwed it all up. And sure, everybody rallies around the new guy, and they felt sorry for him, and things were fine. Yeah, maybe about a year or so later, things really got bad. So he goes back in the drawer, he opens up number 2, and it says, the Ford way, reorganize. So he does that, he scatters everybody around, changes their jobs. Things got really good. A few years later, I think it was about 3 months ago, things really got bad. He goes in the drawer, he opens up, takes out number 3, he looks at it for a while, he opens it up, he reads the card, and says, prepare 3 envelopes. Now, Bob, we have some gifts for you here. Carol made me promise that there would be no strippers. On the occasion of Bob's 50th birthday, his family arranged for a stripper to perform for Bob, and I guess that Bob really embarrassed them all. So, sorry, Bob, no motorcycle mama tonight. Bob, come on up here. We're going to give you some gifts. First, this is a gift from your sweetheart, Sylvia. You get your chance later. Sit down. Open your gifts like a good boy. Yeah, you do need help. This should get you to the first round of golf.
I love you, Sylvia. That's my favorite order. Open up.
Wait, give me time. Pass the golf balls around. 3 samples. No clock.
Beware. MES.
No, sir. This is Ford Motor Company, pal. It's a engraved plaque of Bob's business card. Not a two-corner. It's a cold leftover pizza, Bob. Now, you're supposed to tell us when you get the mic about something about having spent some time in jail over a car like that or something. But later.
I remember when he got
When he died, he changed his face.
The Umdo retirement clock.
This must be Rick.
Yes. Yeah.
Is he worthy of all these gifts?
Hey, it's worth it to get rid of them.
There's a price to pay. Oh, set of things. This should be nothing in this box, I guess. Duct tape. Or tape. Or tape.
Yeah,
How to get that tape from you?
Must have gone to the bathroom.
Maybe he went to Dolly.
We couldn't get motorcycle mama, so we got Big Bertha. Now, before we give Bob the floor and a chance to respond to any of the loving comments heard tonight, I'd like to acknowledge those individuals whose efforts made this party possible tonight. And I've got a list here from Paul Iott. Greg Trombley, Lori Polowitz, Todd McNary, Dave Effamoff, a little, it says. Jim Isaacson, a special thanks to Jim. Dan Farringer, Lori Davey, Rick Sirkovich for the clock, Paul Bailey for the caricature over by the door, Holly Kohler and Sue Randbarger. And a special thanks to Paul Iott, who helped organize a lot of this. Paul couldn't be here tonight because his wife is in the hospital. She's quite ill. Before you leave, if you haven't already, please sign the poster and sign the guest book. And if you have a business card, drop it in the jar. And now, Bob, it's your turn. But before I sit down, I just want to wish you and Carol a long, healthy, prosperous retirement. I personally want to thank you for all the help and support that you've given me over the years at EMDO. And if anybody deserves a peaceful retirement and many years of enjoyment, it's you. All of us at EMDO, especially me, will miss you. You've earned this day today through many years of hard work and perseverance. May your days be pleasant, your nights exciting, your drives long and straight, and may you two-putt every green in Florida.
I didn't write anything down. Hi, how you doing? This is the second time I'm retired, and I am overwhelmed.
Now you're old enough.
This is by far probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Well, I can start off this by saying, today is the first day of my new body.
You're old one.
I plan on coming back in end of May. And this body's going to be 175 pounds. I've already went down to Florida for 2 weeks. There's a female trainer down there at our club. I'm going to be working with her and we're going to get this thing in shape here. No, seriously, when I get back here in May, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 of your supervisors, Ron Green and Ed Miller, and I'm going to kick their ass. I really appreciate you people turning out for me like this. It's very, very heartwarming. And I represent most of what Mr. Cox said. A lot of that's truer than you think. I was quite shocked. My wife hasn't seen anything in the way of chores yet. Anyway, I'll be back. I'm going to do my best at working every time, and I guarantee you I will never, ever be back in Amdo working for money or any other place in the Ford Motor Company. I'm not saying I'll never have a job again, but people have asked me why I'm retired, you know, and the way to retire is when everything is good. And everything is good now. I mean, we got the very best people, the very best crew. We don't have any people that I know that dislike their jobs. Everybody is happy. And that's the way I want to leave them. Everything is terrific. Anyway, I love you all and God bless you.
Do something special. So can you guys put your hands together for me? Give us 1 sec to get set here, and he's going to do one for us that he wrote specially for Bob on this day. Yesterday, Lori asked me if I play my guitar here, and I forgot how to play songs, so on the way home from work yesterday, I wrote a little tribute for Bob instead. That way I wouldn't have to remember all the songs I used to know. I strolled into Endo, a skinny young wrench, feeling quite nervous as the interview went. He'd take me under his wing, I knew right off the bat. He said, "Hi, how you doing?" And stuff like that. So about neighbors, it seems quite a thing. Seems quite a loss
of a pretty fair CB and a damn good boss. Soon triple dipping and suit you just fine. And your legacy at Endo is the famed mini line. You treated me well and you kept my kids fed. Working in build-ups like a trip to Club Med. Then I left to join Modular, be it friendly or foe. Thanks a lot for the stress, Bob, and letting me go. So long, bye, neighbors, it seems quite a loss of a pretty fair CB and a damn good boss. Soon triple dipping will suit you just fine. And your legacy at Endo is the famed MIDI line. You paid all your dues and you put in your time. And a job at your age would sure be hard to find. So no more PRs or arriving at 5. And may the next 30 years be the best of your life. So long, bye, neighbors, it seems quite a loss of a pretty fair CB and a damn good boss. Soon triple dipping will suit you just fine. And your legacy at Endo is the famed MIDI line. Your legacy at Endo is the MIDI assembly line.
Come on now, give it up for Chris! Come on!
That's a hard song, guys, so you gotta give it up for him.
We got somebody else there, Bruce.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do one for you.
Let's give it up for Brucey. He's working his heart out tonight for the kindness of his heart for me. I want to hear you guys give it up for him because he's here for your listening pleasure. He is the master mixer, Brucey.
I'm gonna do a little Ellis Cooper. Gonna rock the house.
Amen. Everybody, give it up for Chris! That's real. I want love. Let's up.
Hell of a song, man. Why don't you change the lyrics or something? Why don't you ask for it in the song? We're waiting for fucking shit. We're sending you to inspection now.
We do karaoke up at the Bears Den in Berkeley on Wednesday and Thursday nights, starting at 9 o'clock to 1:30, and we do karaoke at DJ's